What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to LFG. Today we're going to be continuing with our budget deck series here in Eternal Card Game, and today we're going to be doing Budget Feln. For anyone who hasn't watched the previous budget deck video, budget deck in this series simply means there are 0 legendaries in the deck. There's going to be rares, there's going to be a lot of rares in this one actually, uncommons and commons, just no legendaries. So this Feln build is just over 25,000 shiftstone. It's 26,600, and I'll go over the deck and tell you some of the things that you would change if you have better cards. So we're running 27 power. We're not going to be greedy on power here at all. We go up to 8, so 27 power should be good. We're going to be running Seat, Banner, 4 Crest. This is one of the best additions to Feln, period, especially if you're playing the control variant. 6 basic Shadow Sigils, 4 Waystones. Having the ability to play Waystone made it easy to replace Favor. So really good addition as well. And then just 5 Primal Sigils. So going from 1 here, we're going to be running a couple Permafrost. I don't think we need 4, as we run a decent amount of removal spells in here. So we're going to be testing with 2 of them. And one of the main reasons we're running these at all is for Torgov, getting Torgov to hit. So 2 Annihilates, I do not like running more than 2 Annihilates because a lot of the best creatures you're going to face do not die to Annihilate, right? So that's why I like to only run 2 and then diversify my more expensive removal spells to cards that can hit any unit. 2 Lightning Storms, we all know what these are for. 4 Strategize, draw some cards, and get rid of cards that aren't very good in our hand at the time. 4 Varus Favor. I might cut this down to 2, but it's really versatile, so I'll leave it at 4 for now. Pretty sure I'm going to end up cutting this down to 2. This is a card that used to be a staple in Feln Control that at this point it's just been replaced. I don't want to say by better cards, but by more efficient cards, I guess, or more effective cards. But this guy is just, he's a wall against most aggro decks. He doesn't die to Torch. You would need 2 torches to kill him. A lot of the very quick draw units just run into him and he doesn't die unless they have a pump spell or torch. So he's really good for that. He does not die to Annihilate. He does not die to Lightning Storm. He does not die to Varus Favor. He does not die to Vanquish because while his toughness is 5, his power is significantly lower than 4. So he survives a lot of removal spells in the game. Does die to Suffocate though, but not a lot of people run Suffocate these days. Of course, the staple for Feln Control and most other primal decks is Wisdom, so running 4 of those. 3 Death Strikes. All things being equal, including mana, Death Strike is just a strictly better card than Annihilate. Like I said, all things being equal. So if you have the mana for both, this is just a better card because it hits any unit. And this is another addition to the deck as well. I'm running 2 Devastating Setbacks because it doubles as a 3rd and 4th Lightning Storm if you need it late game. And it's a permanent -2, -2 instead of just 2 damage. If not, then you can use it to make them discard a card. And I like running 1 single copy of Feed in Time. I don't like going more than that because, again, all things being equal, Death Strike is a fast spell while Feed in Time is not a fast spell. Trade-off here is Death Strike permanently takes care of a unit like a Mogto that has Revenge, or just them hitting the graveyard or the void at all and having an opportunity to come back. And that leads into Steward of the Past, who's also here to deal with their yard. Steward of the Past also checks a lot of the boxes that Feln Bloodcaster checks, except he does die to Annihilate. But everything else I said about Feln Bloodcaster is pretty true for him, and he's one of the best blockers you're going to find in these colors. Anything he touches is going to die, so that's pretty good. He's also good for popping Face Aegis when you cast him. So keep that in mind as well. You can kind of plan around that. I didn't mention this guy's ultimate, but paying 7 to draw a card from each deck late game when you've kind of stabilized is not an ability to be slept on. Next, we're going to be running 3 Torgovs. It's 4/4/4/5 in Primal, which is really, really good stats. And when he hits the enemy player, you get to loot, so you draw a card and discard a card. And if you have 15 or more cards in your void, he gets +3/+3. So we're running 3 of those, and like I said, he's one of the main reasons we run Permafrost. Then, of course, we have 4 Champion of Cunning. If you have all your power in the right colors, which is 5 and 5, this is one of the hardest cards to deal with in the game. It already doesn't die to Annihilate, so now if it has Aegis, Death Strike's off the table, any single removal spells off the table, Rune Hammer's off the table, so they usually need at least 2 cards to deal with him. Really good, and he makes your team massive really quickly. I am running 2 Grasping at Shadows. This is just a test card really, because of course no Vara. Vara is legendary, so we will not be running Vara, so we're going to be running 2 of these. The upside of running this over Vara is 1, it's cheaper, and 2, it could actually bring back Torgov where Vara would not be able to. And the second test unit we're running here, since we're not running any Withering Witch because we cannot run Black Sky Harbinger as it's a legendary, so I just removed the Witch as well. And Witch is a lot stronger when you play Vara in the deck, and we're not running Vara either. So Slime Spitter Slug, my first time testing this in Feln, but it's 6 for a 6/4, and it hits each unit with flying when it comes into play, and if an enemy unit dies, I gain a health and he gets bigger. So we're going to be running 3 of those, pretty big body. And unit wise, we're going to be topping out with 2 Thunderstrike Dragons. Only running 2 because they have Echo, so 2 is 4 when drawn anyways. And then the final card we're going to be testing out is Channel, just as a finisher. So that's the deck, and you know the drill. We will be doing 5 games. The card on our avatar here is something I thought about running, and if I do cut my Vara's favors down from 4 to 3 or 2, Staff would probably be what I replace it with. Alright, so we're on the draw. I'm going to keep this hand. We have this on 3. So, I mean, hopefully we're not facing Rushdown because it's a little slow, but this might be a mirror match. I'm going to bottom that. We're pretty good on power right now. And I'd feel better with the removal spell. Alright, so we obviously have 2 options next turn. I'll wait to see what he does before I decide. He's in the right color, so Slay just straight up kills this. Okay. Don't know if OP runs Harsh Rule, but we are going to put this out. We have another one in hand. And holding this up and then he doesn't play a unit doesn't help us. So no power there. That's a bit unfortunate. I'm gonna try to kill this now. Protects a strong possibility. Getting blown out in combat trying to do that wouldn't make me feel good either. That's why I just went for it now. Kind of regret putting that power to the bottom. As it's definitely affecting us at this point. So OP's down to 2 cards. Come on, power. Alright, we did hit a power. We're actually going to play this out without any buffs. Because we're going to need to start... attacking back. This is a really fast clock, and with 2 flyers it is a 2-turn clock. So we'll put this out now, and if we draw Primal before it gets silenced, then we just have a flyer. And if not, and he uses a card on it, at least we draw a removal spell out. Flying. Yeah, see, we're fine with that because it doesn't change the clock. It's still a 2-turn clock. If I can't draw Primal here, I still just die. Well, I'm not dead yet. It is pretty close. No blocks. Alright, we're gonna kill this. We don't have a better play. And if they can get rid of this, 7's not 8. But if they have Black Sky... Well, if they have Black Sky, they can't actually kill this as well. So now he has a big decision to make. If he doesn't have a good follow-up here, then attacking with both flyers is not the best move. That's pretty good because it's a blocker and it hurts our offense as well. Can only attack for 4 this turn. Can I even attack for 4? I can silence. I can stun this. I'm taking 2 for sure. Yeah, let's attack for 4. If he has a removal spell for one of our units, then we just have to accept it. Because not attacking doesn't actually help us. The clock is really fast. Yeah, that's lethal. See, not attacking wouldn't have stopped that from happening. So unfortunately there we had some power issues, which kind of sucked considering we run 27 power. Usually I run 29 in these decks, but sometimes you just get so flooded. Alright, this is a better hand. It's a better hand by a little bit. Of course we need another Primal, but at least we have 2, we have Strategize, and we have Vara's Favor. Come on, play Oni Ronin. Oh, that would have been the dream. So we won't Vara's Favor here. It's Rakano. I don't know if it's Armory or if it's aggro deck. I'm not even going to strategize here, actually. I'm just going to bottom that for sure. So I wanted to make sure I hit double Primal and I can play this on curve if it's open. Okay, so this is probably Armory. Actually going to put this out. If he has Sword of Ikaria, this is a stone wall for Sword of Ikaria. Okay. 2 wanted posters. It's pretty good. So he has Torch. So again, this is a position where I'd hold this up to play it or play it on my main phase. The thing is, OP's at 3 power. They're probably going to spend their entire turn killing this with Slay. So I'm going to put another threat out there. So if they want to draw 4 cards, then they have to take 4 to do it. They're going for Harsh Rule next turn. Okay. Let's strategize. I actually think this is quite a dead card in this matchup. Favor, huh? Yeah, I'll pitch a Favor and pass it. I was gonna pitch this, but I can get more value out of this if I play it and then revive it after he kills it. Okay, so OP gets 4 cards off that. Actually, I have no proof that they're playing Armory, but it definitely seems like it is. So I'm gonna assume they're playing Icaria. Let's see what's in their hand. Yep, there's the weapon. We're not worried about that at all. Don't know that I care for that much either. Actually, yeah. We're going to take Vanquish. He can keep Harsh Rule. And we're going to leave this in hand since we saw Runehammer. The reason why I took this and left Harsh Rule is... Oh, we can't stop that. The reason I did it that way is that if he wants to kill this, then he has to Harsh Rule. And that takes up his entire turn. Okay, so how do we want to go about this? Let's start by attacking. Let's do that, and we know they have Harsh Rule. Yep, we also knew they had a Runehammer. I guess that works too. Interesting. What's the oh, Torch. So the main issue here is that Icaria attacked twice, which means there's something on top of his deck that just kills me. Just gonna grab this. Didn't really have any better lines there. If he has a giant weapon, this blocks it, I guess. We'll take 4. Yep. I mean, I knew that was a possibility, but if I blocked, he wouldn't have used it. Let's just hope he didn't draw a Runehammer off that with +10/+10. He's digging for whatever Icaria hit, though. Alright, Torgov. 12 is not 15. Okay, we're dead. Because whatever he kept off Quarry, he kept that pretty quick. Yep. So we're not off to a great start. We are 0-2. We are 0-2. Let's just jump right back in there. Love up. Gonna redraw this. It's slightly better. We can strategize turn 2. Xenon. Okay. We might bottom one of these devastating setbacks. Let's see what we draw. Yeah, let's bottom one of those. Was not expecting the third color.
It's written right here.
Alright, so we know what we're up against here. At least I think I do. I think it's the weapon that gets bigger when you gain. So let's see if we can... there it is, Hate Cleaver. Comes down next turn. Yeah. They're going to have ways to get it back as well, but he can keep Visage. I can win through Visage. At least I'm pretty confident I can. I didn't see a removal spell, but we're going to hold Champion up. I mean, this blocks this as well. Okay, OP is thinking long and hard. You could make an argument that I should have took the Visage and left Cleaver, and in this situation he can play Visage, but he wouldn't have been able to play Cleaver because he doesn't have the influence requirements. But I'm okay with my decision. I'm gonna play one of these out without protection. They're gonna pump my units, so I'm gonna force him to have a Harsh Rule or something. He did not have Harsh Rule last time I looked at his hand. And if he can't deal with this, it's gonna be a pretty fast clock, even without Aegis and flying. The beauty of Marshall there is this is still a 7/5, right? It doesn't have the ability anymore. It's still just a giant attacker. That card's pretty good in the sense that it can keep gaining health from it, but in the sense that we can just silence it. I'm not convinced OP plays Harsh Rule in their deck, so we're gonna go all in here. And if he doesn't have it, if he has nothing here, we win. Yeah. So the good news is we're not gonna go 0-5, but we're still 1-2. We are still 1-2. So let's jump back in, and right off the bat, I think I would cut 2 favors. I might do that and update the deck list. It's really versatile. One of the best favors out there. Oh man, I am so tempted to keep this horrible looking hand. I'm gonna do it. So this is something that plagued Magic the Gathering when the Skylands first came out. People started keeping horrific hands if they had one Skyland in hand. And Scout and Scry is the same thing. So people would keep 1 land hands because it was a Skyland. And I feel pretty guilty of that myself here. We're going to hold this. We want to see a card deeper. Okay, this is actually an easy choice. We can bottom one of these. We have a lot of 6s in our hand. Just made sense to keep diverse pairs. Wisdom's pretty good, but I'm gonna establish my mana now. I'm gonna keep Vara's Favor. I see Urkana so far. Vara's Favor might end up being good, and it gets us undepleted power. So like our opponent hasn't put any pressure on us so far. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. So I'm playing a color that does not interact with weapons very well. I was running 2 lightning strikes in here, by the way. Took those out. Figure with all the 3/5s and 2/5s and stuff we run, we can deal with weapons if we draw them. So he gets a second Warcry trigger here. Alright, let's draw 2 cards. Jeez. I don't get them for any games, and then I get them 2 games in a row. My hand's pretty bad. I've drawn pretty much every 6 casting cost card in my deck. Let's see what's on top. I'm gonna bottom that just because I have so many units in my hand anyways, that getting one back from the yard doesn't seem that necessary yet. I'm gonna play a 6 drop next turn or champion. I don't know what's gotten all those Warcry triggers, but it is what it is. We're gonna go with this, give ourselves some protection, and then we're gonna play this. This doesn't die to Vanquish. Doesn't die to this +1 torch. He needs multiple things here. Even if he plays Runehammer, he still needs more unless the Runehammer has a Warcry trigger. Hopefully he just has torch. That's so suspect. It feels like entrapment. Feels a lot like entrapment actually. Could also be harsh rule. Let's see if it's harsh rule. Okay, so it is entrapment. That's fine. If it was harsh rule and I didn't do that, I would feel really bad. Another reason this isn't in the deck is Icaria. Do you have a second entrapment? Alright, so they're very defensive right now. I do have channel. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna put this out. Because whatever's gotten the 2 Warcry triggers we haven't seen, or whatever's gotten this +1/+1 we haven't seen yet. And that's exactly what we wanted. That is exactly what we wanted. So we have some options here. I'm going to put another flyer out. We're going to hold the power though. Yep. So their hand is full of removal. Alright, we'll channel now. Wow. The question is, do they have harsh rule? I'm gonna play Steward just because it does not die to Vanquish. OP has played 1, 2 Vanquishes so far. Alright, so let's draw 2 cards end of turn. Not that sad to see power. Let's attack for 3. See if he has another entrapment. I don't think so. Let's see what's in your hand though. Okay, so their hand might just be all removal. And this is what got the 2 Warcry triggers. Interesting. Let's do this. Don't need all this power. Just gonna attack. Harsh Rule is still a card. And so is Ikaria, so I'm going to hold up both these in case he does have Ordra on Ikaria. If he doesn't, we're just going to kill him. Okay, we have 9 on board. He's at 12. I think that's Xaxes. Unless he has a removal spell. No, I'm 1 short. 1 short. A space. Alright, we got it. We never didn't have that. Never in any trouble. Kept a very sketch bag of hand though. Very sketchy hand. 5 power. 3 of them depleted. Alright, so we're 2-2. Let's go into the final game. I'm very glad this deck did not go 0-5. Very, very happy about that. We're gonna keep this. We have a second turn. Annihilate. Yeah, okay, I see you. Yeah, I'm gonna mute you though. That's my style. Let's go with the banner first, since it comes into play undepleted for a while. Okay, so they're gonna be going big. Let's put this out. Still haven't drawn our 4th power yet. I can pass it back here. If I didn't have power, if next turn I don't have power, I would have played this main phase. I don't like holding this if I can get power off at main phase. But in this case, I hit my power, and if they're gonna negate it, I'd rather them do it on their turn. Did not hit power, so we're gonna do it again. Jeez. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're gonna have to discard. Let's pitch one of those. I mean, now he knows we have one in hand, but it is what it is. Alright, so let's strategize. I know I could have played Torgov there. Really, I'd much rather have power. Let's get rid of 1 Annihilate. This might be the control deck we're facing, so it's gonna put this out. So they haven't done anything, which means their hand's probably full of removal spells. This draws 2 removal spells, or that, and removal spells. So probably Vanquish here. Yeah, I know what that means. It means they have choice in hand. I think this is a dead card for the most part. That does mean they have choice in hand, but I still gotta make them do it, or they just harsh rule next turn. So That is so suspect. It's gonna pass it. That's so sketchy. It's also possible I'm completely misreading what's going on here, but I don't think I am. I'm gonna attack for 5 again. Pretty sure they have Harsh Rule and they're waiting for more targets, so I'm gonna do that again. Champions in matchups like this are very good. No blocks. You'd hate to block and lose this to something silly. Alright, let's attack for 10. So here's where you get tempted to do something. Chances are these are dying to Harsh Rule. His entire turn's probably going to be Harsh Rule. I'd rather not feed any more into it. So what happened there is I'm pretty sure they have at least one Harsh Rule in hand. They did not draw a second Justice Sigil. They had 8 power, but they did not have a second Justice. I don't know if you can see it, but that's what happened there. Anyways, that is the end of the video. We went 3-2. We started 0-2 and won the next 3 games. Very happy about that. So my thoughts on the deck is it felt fine. It felt Feln. I said I would cut Var's favor down to 2. I still believe that's a good choice. I might even go 3 Var's favor, 4 Torgov's. I think Slime Spit and Slug, it worked well, but you can probably run in 2 copies of this. And that would still net you 20 units. I don't want to run less than 20 units in this deck. 20 units is a good number for control where you're not running too many units, but you're not running too few. So I might go 1 extra Torgov, 1 less Slime Spit or Slug, and in that case, you'd remove a favor for, I don't know, Dealer's Choice. Not Permafrost. I don't think that would help the deck a lot. There's probably something else you can find. Maybe gift. 1 gift. Remove a favor for a gift. I don't know if there's much else I would change besides that. The deck felt pretty good, and we went 3-2 with it. But let me know what you think down below, and the link to the deck list will be in the description as usual, and thanks for watching.